Welcome to Academia. My name is Brian, and today we're going to talk about the Harvard referencing system. And the thing is that one thing I like to say is that the Harvard referencing system has different forms, but there's one specific one that you're going to stick to, and this is that Harvard referencing system from the University of Queensland. And so to begin with, you have to go to your browser, open your browser, and type in university, or you can just type UQ, University of Queensland, Harvard referencing, and I press enter to search. Then UQ Harvard referencing style, you can open that, and this is the guide for the University of Queensland of Australia. So this is the Harvard referencing style that is standard for WriteALL academics. East Academia and Understand Me writers. Thank you. So a paper that is written in Harvard, let me just begin with a sample to show you how a Harvard written document looks like. Now, this is a paper that was submitted in WriteALL Academics, and it really was formatted in Harvard. It was really formatted in Harvard, and as you can see, this is how a final paper in Harvard looks like. I will also provide this document for you to use as a sample for free so that you can see how Harvard looks like. So before I even go into activating these markers that are here, I will essentially come and show you how this paper looks before I even activate the markers. So I will move around down, and I hope, by the way, before I proceed, for you to understand this video, you must have covered the video in MLA and APA. This is because this style of Harvard is really an amalgamation. Like it borrows some few aspects in APA and some few aspects in MLA. So we are going to see that, and I'm going to be showing you how this Harvard style looks like in comparison to APA references and in comparisons to MLA references, and why I'm even saying that this one is an amalgamation of the two. So WriteALL Academics provides two templates for the Harvard referencing style, but one template that is normally used at WriteALL Academics is not the other one. This is the template that is normally used in WriteALL Academics for the Harvard referencing style. So if you are a member of WriteALL Academics, you should have received this template by now. And this is how it looks, the template. So it is a pretty much basic, yeah? It's very basic. So for the title of the paper, as you can see, this title of the paper is typed here. It is not bold and it is in title case. Okay. Yeah, the title of the paper is not bold and is in title case. So there are a few things that I want us to note before even we proceed, so that we can be on the same page. Okay. So make sure you have the title of the paper here, and don't forget this part here that is written university. So That's how it is. But we usually don't expect you to do all this formatting because this template is provided. So you'll be given a template that you'll be only required, that you're only going to be required to change some few parts of this paper. So there are a few things for this one. When you're given the template, this one does not change. Okay. So this one you'll have to leave it. The only thing I think you're going to change here is the title of the paper, not PC paper. It's title of the paper. So I think I just did something wrong here. It's title of the paper. So this title of the paper, I'll just rub here. So it's title of the paper, I think it should be that title of the paper. And if you notice, this title of the paper is also repeated in some section here. Okay, so whatever title you'll put here, you're supposed to repeat it here. So, and this is not, sometimes you can realize you have a very long title here. So if you have a long title here, what you're going to put here is something known as a partial title. So I'll call it as a partial title. This is a title that really summarizes what, it doesn't go to the specifics of the paper. Yeah. So if you look at this sample here, let me see how this guy, this writer handled this order. It was order L0. 217 is from an account known as Nogat. So you can see this author here wrote comparison of financial strategies of DSL, UPS logistics companies. So I believe the rules of title case, these companies should be capital C. So that's one mistake I've noticed. And then same thing to here, this one should just be the same here, companies. So I will assume that we like to fill these titles in our template. So from this template, you can just go around filling this title of the paper here. So, and the challenges that people come across, because if you come and take this title here, comparison of financial strategies of logistic companies, and copy it. If you copy it and you come to paste it in this other side, let me see. You come and paste it to the Harvard template. I'll just write here, and let me just save this one again, and I call it sample so that I maintain Harvard referencing this one, updating a sample. So I'll just come here and paste it. I can paste it, just paste it. But I realized that I have an extra line, or there's some space here between these two. So I'll have to remove this space. So I'll come here, click, okay, and do this. Let me not add space. Yeah, so you can see it's contracted. So that is how it's supposed to be. Then the same title is supposed to be on that upper part, that title of the paper. So if you want to know whether it's topic case or whatever case or title case, just look at how this thing is written. Title, capital T, of the capital P for the paper. That should tell you that this is in title case, whatever's supposed to write here. So I'll just come here and press that and paste it there. But when I paste it, I can realize it's really big, and you cannot submit a paper that is formatted this way. Yeah. So this means that the title that was there, that you've put, is extremely long compared to that word title of paper that was here. So then what do? You have to remove these spaces, these tabs. If you activate these markers, one thing I noticed is that these markers are pretty much important, and they're activated here. So if you've watched MLA and APA, you must know how important these markers are by now. So I will just advise you once again, if you have not watched APA and MLA, working on this video might be really difficult for you. So make a point to watch those two videos and take in the key points. So watch them in order. Start with MLA, then come to APA. APA is pretty long, but then now when you come to Harvard, it's just going to be a walkover. In fact, I don't intend that this video is going to be very long. All right. So when you come and activate markers here, you realize that you have this title here that is written here is in a different line with this one here, but this is not acceptable. So what you have to do is to write spaces in between. Yeah. So now that I've write the spaces in between, so I'll press a tab until when this page number will shift to the next line. That's when I will stop. So I put my first tab, it is okay. I put my second tab, it's still okay. I press my third tab, it's not okay. So I'll backspace the third tab. So that's how that is acceptable. Now, in some situations, you might have a title. I'll assume that this title had this extra part here. So it was a pretty much long title. So I'll add it here. I'll just add also here that it was this way. And in this case, this title was so long. And as you can see, it has overlapped even in this section. But it is still okay. But when I come and copy this title here, let me see. I come and copy this title and paste it here, all of it. It has really overlapped, okay? So I'm supposed to put this page number and the title in one line. So what am I supposed to do? So I will just come and try to delete these spaces between the page number and the title. But as you can see, there's no possibility for us having one line there. And you won't submit a paper that is this way, okay? So generally what I will do is to ensure that in this case, first this one should be left aligned, not centered. You have to notice that this title has to be left aligned and not centered, okay? And then one thing, because the title is the one that is long, now you'll have to reduce some insignificant words on the paper. So if this title was, I can really write something generic, something general, all right? Instead of having going to the specifics of the paper. So that's when I'm going to employ an aspect known as a what? Uh, a shortened title, okay? Or a partial title. It's known as a partial title. I'll write here that one, partial title. It is a title, but it really covers. Like now, if this title, I'll just try to see comparison of financial strategies of DHL and UPS logistics company strategies. Okay, so I'll just write here comparison of financial strategies. That alone. I will not go to the specifics of whether it is DHL or whatever. So I can just delete that, and then I press my tab until when it overlaps, and then I reduce that one, and then I press OK and I save my work. So basically, generally, that is how I can avoid. So you can see that comparison of financial strategies still makes sense to this paper, okay? But then it really does not tell us whether it is for DHL and UPS logistics. Thank you. So that is one thing that I wanted to show you, and how to go about the titles. But at any given time, make sure that these two are actually on the same line, the page number and the partial title whatsoever. All right. So I will go now to the aspects of the template, and I'm going to show you how the cover page is formatted. Now I'll come here to this. I'll have to open Harvard template updating. Yeah, this one. So I'll open this template. This is the WriteALL Academics template that was there initially. So we are going to work on this template to update it to the way we came up with a template for MLA and APA together, so that you will understand exactly what goes and what happens. So for us to understand the template and to know whether the template is okay, what you're supposed to do is to activate the markers. Markers are the things that will assist you, by the way. So for the title of the paper is repeated here. As you can see, this type of referencing and formatting does not have any bold. So we do not expect you to have anything bolded in your paper. And then another thing we are going to see is that for this case here, title of the paper, everything immediately after program of study, what we're supposed to have here is a page break. So we will insert a page break. But for the template that we're going to be given, it's going to have a page break. Yeah, I think I'm using an old template, but it's going to have a page break. So for the title page, for this cover page, the only thing that I said that is different is the title of the paper. This is the only thing that you're going to change. For the date, you don't have to write in the date here, because I think this is a dynamic date. For this document, when you open it today, it will read 21st April, because today is, as per my computer, it is on 21st April of 2022. Yeah. But if I open this document yesterday, or if I opened it, like it's the date that is going to appear here is the date that is on someone's computer. Okay. So that's why it's known as a dynamic date. There's a video in East Academia showing you how you can come up with a dynamic date, okay, which is not pretty much complicated, and it's easy to make. So what is important is the number of lines that are in between here, okay, and the fact and the line spacing that is here. So we expect that this spacing here should be double spaced. Yeah, so from here up to here, these are title page elements. These ones have to be double spaced. So I'll just come and confirm that it's times New Roman size 12, and they are centered, of course, and the line spacing is double spaced. So I'll have to double space them like that. And then another thing, when you come to the paragraph here, you are supposed to do not add spaces between paragraphs of the same style. So I'll click that, do not add spaces between paragraphs of the same style, and press OK. And now you can see that the paper is okay. And I'll remove space before paragraphs here, and I remove space after paragraphs. So that is it. So that is line spacing of a double spaced. Okay. So that's how it is when it's double spaced. So I'll just go and activate the markers, and you see that these markers are like that. But initially, you are going to realize that whatever I had here was not a double spaced; it was a 1.5 line spacing. Okay. So normally we don't recommend you to change, but it has never been an issue if you change it. You can change it to 1.5, or you can maintain it to a double spacing. Whichever that works is still okay with us. Only that when you're submitting the work, make sure it has uniform spacing. So if you're working with double spaced, just double space that work. So always make sure that you're writing in double spaces. Yeah. So how many lines are these? We will count these lines. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are 6 lines after the word university. Okay. And then now the element that follows is title of the paper, author, date, and professor's name, and program of study. And just like that, you are done with the cover page. So the cover page, which is pretty much important, that is the only way that it's usually handled. Okay. Now, after the page break, of course, you're going to the next section, which is so these are extra lines which have to be deleted. Don't worry, the template that you're going to receive or the page breaks will have been put there for you. But if at all you come across a situation that there is no page break put there for you, that is how you're going to go about it. So at any given time when you're submitting the papers, be sure that you have a page break that has been put there for you. All right. So I will show you how to put a page break is to go there to the program of study and insert a page break, just like that. Yeah. And then you delete any extra line that is there before that you delete it. So for the next page, now this is page 2. After this page break that is here, you come and start the title of the paper here. So you can see this part, you repeat just the title of the paper in title case. Same thing the way you are told, okay? Title of the paper in title case. So as you can see, really what is needed here is to copy whatever title you had here. So if, for example, in this case, we had this title here. Let me show you. I'm coming to look at this one. Sample. So for this one, we will just copy this title here like this. So we'll copy this section title and paste it in the second part in here. We'll paste it here. So I can see there's an extra line there. Paste it here. Yeah. So and what is needed here basically is that this one has to be centered. Yeah. And I will put in the markers to see what happens. Okay. 6 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these spaces are 6, so that is okay. And we've said that we have to have a page break here. So we'll insert a page break here. And then another thing is to delete. We're going to delete these extra lines. Yeah, so we delete these ones. So even that one, we delete it. And then we repeat that title here. and then you have to make sure that this is in home Times New Roman size 12, and then you can just come and confirm. So you put Times New Romans, you put it in size 12, and then you put it in a double spaced, and then you are going, after that you are going to remove spaces before paragraph, and then you're also coming to click again and remove space after paragraph, and then you are going to come here to paragraph, not add spaces between paragraphs of the same style, and press OK. And so that is the changes that you've effected, and this is how this document is in Harvard style size that follows that convention. So comparison, everything, and then now you can start typing your paper from here. So you can start typing your paper from here, okay? So that is where you go writing those things, okay? So I will come and show you the template, the sample, how that writer really implemented working on this order number. So you can see comparison of DHL strategies, and you can see they wrote the word introduction. So you can see introduction, this is a main title, it's in heading 1. You don't have to use this heading if you don't have if you don't have a table of contents. But if you have a table of contents or you want to generate a table of contents, this one is very easy for you to do. So for Harvard types of referencing, only heading 1s are going to be centered, okay? So the main titles of the sections, or the major sections of the paper, the ones going to be put in heading 1, okay? Any other one, and the rule is that all titles here are in title case, okay? They are in title case. So the only difference is that these other subtitles or subsections or the section titles are going to be in italics, okay? So for this one, the word introduction, this is a main title, so you can put it there, and then now write about whatever you want to write. And then under the introduction, there's a subtitle that is corporate objectives. This is a subtitle. And then you'll come across another subtitle, which is investment strategy, still in the introduction. Yeah. And then there's another subtitle, capital structure, still under the introduction. Okay. Then there's another working capital management policy, that is still under the dividend policies. Okay, blah blah blah, that way. So you will go on until when you come across another major title or a level 1 title. In this case, it was a conclusion. Okay, so for this paper, it only had an introduction section divided in several subsections, which were formatted the way they were formatted, and then here it's a conclusion to finish the paper. So that's it. And then now you have the references. So if we are to look at these titles, make sure you don't put any punctuation mark in the titles. So do not put a full stop after the end of these titles. I've seen some guys putting a full stop here, and this is really unprofessional. So that one is not accepted. So that is it. So basically you type, and all sections titles have to be, you can start your typing here. So I can just copy this and show you how you write. So make sure you put that indent as usual. So and then after that you can put, you just type. Unfortunately, these are not new lines. I don't know what is happening here. So these are supposed to come this way. It's typing in a new line, and I wasn't expecting that. So let me see how it goes here. Still going in a new line. So these ones are not supposed to be here. I'll just try and delete this first. No, don't worry. For this section, I don't want you to get worried, because this is a thing that we are going to be doing together. Like the final template that you're going to receive is a template that has all these things are done for you. So most of these things will be done for you. So that is how I wanted it to be. So this is how it will go. So if that is the first part, and after the title, and maybe you don't want to write the word introduction, and maybe now you want to write the background, and you want to put it as a level 1 title. So it will be background information. So background information, so something of that kind. So background information, and maybe this is a main title. It is not under this first title. So you're going to put it, you're going to center it. And then under the background information, maybe you have a subtitle. Before even you start writing anything, you have a little paragraph to talk about the background of your paper. So, and then remember that here you're supposed to put an indent. So you'll come here and put special, a first line, 1.27 centimeters. Okay. Then let's say maybe you have a section. Maybe this background information is divided into three parts. Okay. So you are supposed to say maybe background information on water. So I'll just come and type in here background information. I'll just copy it. To make this video short, I'll just have to copy it and then I'll add the sections. So now this is not centered, it is a left aligned background information on water services. And then I might have also another subtitle, but now if I'll put background information and then I'll put background information. But now instead of what I'll say of electricity services, background information on health services. So I'll put here health. So these are all subtitles, okay? So in this case, because these are subtitles, I'll remove this auto typing. Because these are subtitles, these ones are supposed to be italicized, all of them. So and they're left aligned. So any other thing that I want to write now, each will have an indent and it has to be just under this. So I'll just do this. So I'll talk about background information maybe in two paragraphs, on water services in two paragraphs, and then I talk on background information on electricity services in two paragraphs. So I'm doing this so that you get to know how Harvard goes about, and it shouldn't be very difficult because it is not a very difficult citation style. Yeah. So unlike the way people perceive that Harvard imetoka mbinguni, Harvard imefanya nini, no. You really have to get things right and pay close attention, and you're going to get everything right. So now, and then maybe now after the background information, the next title that I'm having is a level 1 title. So this is going to be maybe a literature review. So nishamalizana, I'm done with the sections of those ones. So the next thing I want to write is the literature review. So basically, this is how you're going to format the section titles when it comes to Harvard. Literature. So literature review. So literature review in this case now, you won't have to put it in left aligned. You have to center it, and it's not going to be in italics. So under the literature review, you are going to put a literature review there as it is paragraphed. Okay. So you will write your literature review like that. So when I just come and look at this paper, I know the title is this. Because of the spacing, you've put a partial title there. And then you talked about something. Maybe this was an introduction, and there's no need for writing the word introduction. And I come and I look through background information, and I'll see, oh, the background information is divided into background information on water services. I read that. I read background information on electricity services. I read that. Background information on health services. I read that. And then after that, I know the background is finished here. So this is a level 1 title. This is literature review. And this is the literature review that has been written by this specific writer. So you'll go on with the paper until you come to the conclusion part. So I'll jump straight to the conclusion. So for the sake of time and the length of this video, but I believe the other sections you just format them the way the way I've advised. Okay, they have as advised. So as I said, this is written as per the WriteALL academic standards, and I give you a warning that the way this Harvard system is written here is not the same as the way another Harvard system will be written elsewhere. If I'm supposed to show you the different types of Harvard systems, it will bring confusion. And because of this, we only want to agree to one particular type of system so that all of us have a system that we can follow, something that to guide. Because the Harvard referencing system that is used in this university is different from the other university, is different from another university. Unlike AP and MLA, Harvard does not have a style guide or a manual. Okay, so everybody here is free to come up with their own rules. But in this case, since we are going to be guided by this referencing style or the formatting that is used by very many accounts, including Isepro. Okay, Uvocop kidogo imetoka kidogo na this type of type of type of formatting. Okay, it has its own type of formatting. Yeah, but most accounts they use this type. Yeah, this type of Harvard referencing, and it is one, I think, one that you can employ and it is easy. Although ukiona Harvard, it has a lot of work because you have to do manually. Because me personally, have not come across a generator that generates Harvard references the way we are doing here. So that's why I will advise you to work with scripts and get those references in APA or MLA, which ones, but I'll prefer you get them in APA. And then now from APA, you will modify them into a Harvard, the way inatakikana. Sawa. So that is what I'm going to show you. So, and these references, you just put APA. You can just, in fact, format it in APA references and citations. And then I'm going to show you how to convert an APA paper from APA to Harvard, okay? Which is pretty much simple. And I'm going to use a sample here that that is going to be easy for you to follow. So no need to panic. Issue tu ni kuconcentrate na ujue venye una mix hizi vitu. Sawa. Yes. So let's see. I'll jump to the conclusion section and try and put these titles here. I'll just try and put the information there. Then immediately after the conclusion, the last full stop, don't put a space and then put the page break. Remove these spaces. So I'll just come straight and put a page break after that. So I'll put there page break. And immediately after the page break, I'm supposed to have my references. So take note, I've seen people who are not very keen because when it's one reference, put reference. When there are two or more, put references. But you find guys putting references and then they list one item. Okay? It makes no sense. It shows that you're not careful, it shows that you're not keen. And that's why the first thing that I'm going to do to this template is like what we did for the other templates. This is the template that we have in APA, and you can see we did it. This is MLA. We said work cited, and you said there should be no bold in your paper titles, something of that kind. So work cited. So you can see works. I put that bracket so that you'll be correcting it before anything. So for me, because we are updating that Harvard template, the one that we're updating is this one, yeah. So I will come here, paper title. So first we'll have here page break. So I'll insert here page break. Let me just update this one, and then I will save after the page break. Yeah, and then I will. Please be sure that you use page breaks, because if you don't use page breaks, we will return the work for revision, which is pretty much a lot of work. So be sure to follow this recommendation. Tusikue hapa tunachoma mahindi. So you put references and you save the work. And now it looks nice, isn't it? But now, whatever I want to address particularly is for you not to forget reference or references. So that's why I'm going to put those things in parentheses so that it becomes easy for you. All right? Yeah. So just check well. You can see that the cover page details are formatted. Okay. Always remember how many spaces are here. 6 spaces. You have that title there of the paper, either a title or a partial title. Then this title that is here, you will repeat it on the second page, okay? And it has to be exactly as it is in the first page, not a partial title. You can't have a title here and a partial title in this page, no. So whatever will be here, even if it is an overlap, you just have to write it as an overlap. But for whatever is in this section here, this one is not an issue if it is a onge tabu, isn't it? So that is what Like there's no problem if it is a partial title. So don't worry about that. So now, good. So I'm going to proceed now to this paper because I've already shown you how the different paper sections and the level heading titles are going to be handled. Yeah, so whatever is next is probably in-text citations and the references, isn't it? Yeah, in-text citations and the references. So in-text citations, basically Harvard uses in-text citations zenye ziko 100% kama za APA. All right? 100% like APA in-text citations. And because of that, I usually recommend people to work with APA, okay? And more so Scribe, because Scribe will really help you, all right? So if this is the paper, you are going to put the in-text citations in this paper and the references, and you're going to do that in MLA, in APA, alafu nitaonyesha kwa nini nasema zinafanana na MLA na APA. So you guys just hold on and I will show you step by step on how to go on. All right? Yeah. So immediately after this video, you're going to be proficient in this system of referencing and formatting. And there's no need for you to panic because if you're told it's going to be double spaced, kitu cha kufanya tu ni control A na make sure Times New Romance 12 na hapa ni double spaced, isn't it? Na hizi zimekuwa you remove those spaces and you kuja make sure hii imekuwa not add space between paragraphs. That's all. Alafu weke markers uone kama kuna extra spaces, remove lines, nini vitu kama hizo. I'm going to show you all these things in this single video. And after hapa, you can even call me and buy from me a soda, isn't it? Yes, because I've assisted you in a very simple way and you're not going to struggle a lot when it comes to Harvard referencing. All right, so I'm going to use Scribe and I'm going to show you how Scribe and MLA was in a come into this. All right? Yeah, thank you. So now we'll jump straight into Harvard referencing and citations. So now, as you can see, so far this text does not have any in-text citation, neither does it have references. When you come down here, now it depends on your style of writing. I have guys who usually write the entire paper and put references later, and I have guys who write and put references the same time. Okay, so I will just assume, but the process of putting citations and referencing is the same. So whichever time you be putting your references really doesn't matter. You really don't have to write the entire paper and put citations like they have done here. But I mean, some of you employ that technique, so it's not an issue. At the end of the day, we have to get a paper that is complete with references and citations. Now, looking at this paper clearly on your screen, you can see that this paper is well written and is well formatted in Harvard, but the missing elements are only in-text citations and the reference list entries at the end of this paper. So, like I said, the only problem that we have with Harvard is that this Harvard does not have a standard, okay? Does not have a standard style, neither does it have a style guide. So when you get a Harvard referencing style for a certain university, it can be different for another one, okay, for another university. So it is our duty and responsibility to bring here the universally accepted form of Harvard that can be used in any university if not specified otherwise. Okay. So what I mean is when given a specified form of Harvard citation and referencing style to use, you really have to stick to what the client has provided, especially if they have provided you with a manual or something of like a guide. Okay. So they'll show you how to put in citations and the references, and I'm going to show you one of those things, one of those manuals that was provided by a client. And then I'm also going to give you a website, like the way for MLA and the PA we are using online writing lab on Purdue. Here we'll use Harvard from University of Queensland. So that is to be the standard. But I'm also going to supplement it because it looks more so the same like University of Aldehyde. Okay, so these two I'm going to show you. So before even I get into this one, because like I said, we don't have a standard one, a standard form of Harvard. So that alone tells you that it is very difficult to get a generator for Harvard cite references and citations. Okay, of course, when you go online, you're going to get generators, but of course, those generators, I've never seen a generator that is generating Harvard the way you want. And that's in most cases, we generate them in an APA form and then we convert them. And we are generating them in APA simply because APA follows that same sequence, like it's author, authors, date, date. Uh, Same thing with the TAL, like very few variations. Okay. And the DOI is written as though is the one that we write in MLA. Okay. But then that one does not really have an issue. So I'm really going to show you how to convert an APA reference to this standard Harvard reference. So when you're doing Harvard, just be sure that that conversion is not a very difficult one. So I don't see if it's going to be a problem with any one of you if you follow through very well and be particularly keen on the details, especially on punctuation, casing of the sentences, and all that. All right. So before I begin, let me show you the website that we use for Harvard. Now, the website that we use for Harvard, like I said previously, is that for University of Queensland. So you just come here and you can write UQ Harvard, University of Queensland Harvard referencing, and then you can just click OK, and you can come Harvard referencing style. So this Harvard referencing style, okay, in most cases for you, you can even pin it, okay? You can pin it, you can pin it in your you can bookmark it on your browser so that you just come and be clicking it. So this is the Harvard referencing that we usually use as the standard, okay? Now, for this one, you just go down here and you can see you have a different referencing information. In text citation, I can click on that. And when you look, you see that the Jones here, we have Jones 2017. So this one is exactly like APA, only that it does not, okay, the in-text citation, as you can see. Then page number, mostly mostly Harvard advises that you put page numbers. So for this one, you'll only put a comma, okay, when you're going to put a page number, like the one that is written here. Okay. Then if it is one page, you put a single P and a full stop, or a period, like the one it's written here. Okay, a single P and a period. And if it is a range of pages, you're going to put a double P and a period, and then you're going to put the page range. Okay. Yeah. Then of course, if there is no date that is there that has been specified, you're going to write that it is not defined. Okay, or no date. Okay, so the abbreviation ND is used, isn't it? ND. So like this one, you're going to write brown. Don't put a comma, just brown ND, and then you put a comma, then you put the page. Okay. So be specific. If it is a single page, just one P. If it is a page range, put double P's. Okay. Then for multiple citations, you separate them by semicolon, just the same way you do for APA. So this one, only that after the name there is no comma. So this is what I'm saying. It really looks like APA, okay? But in most cases, you're encouraged for Harvard to put the page or the page range here, all right? Though it is not a must, all right? So direct quotations, uh, direct quotation. Now this one is for the direct quotes, okay? And I'll only go straight to the examples. Pierman writes that one. Okay, for these direct quotes, okay, I really don't think if many of you use these direct quotes. But at the end of the day, what it means is that just like APA, you put a direct quote and then you put a source, a citation. And one thing about a direct quote, you must provide a page number or a paragraph number or whatever, like a source locator. Okay, so for simple quotes, you are going to rewrite it. Okay, you're going to write that quote and then you are going to put the information there. Okay, so for this one, it's a narrative because it's a Palman writes 205 like that. Okay, But same thing to this one, Palmer to 5, this one is still a narrative citation. So this is a direct quote. Now, when it is long, I think it's usually 40 words and above. 40 words and above, this one now becomes a block. You usually have to put it on its own line, but all of it is going to have it's going to be a block. All right, it's going to be a block, and then in that case you can put the citation here, Evans Clark, and you must put the page number. So one thing I'll insist is that for direct quotations you really have to provide source locators, including the page numbers or the paragraph number if it is a website. So page numbers if it is a journal article or a book, but if it is a website and doesn't have pages, of course, you have to state the paragraph. In that case, you just write the word para, something of that. Like I can show you. You just write the word here, para, and then for, something of that kind. So this means that this is paragraph 4 on that website. Okay. So this one has not been covered here, but it's the same with APA. So if you are a person who is conversant with APA, this one should not be an issue. So I'll provide examples here for these ones. Now, like I said, if it is a short direct quote, you are going to put let me say if I'm citing this, if I've taken a direct quote from here till here, what it means is that I am going to put an in-text citation in this case here. So I can say maybe Jose, and Jose wrote this paper in 2022. And since it's a direct quote, I really have to provide a page number. So this was page, he said this in page 44. So something of that kind. So this one here, Jose, this is my in-text citation, okay? And of course, this one, I really have to go and provide it in my references again, okay? So assuming that it's a long one, like let's say this one, I think, how many words is this? 38. So this one is still short. Let me say this was the other. No, I can just come and put it here. Let me see. Because I want one that is above 40 words. So how many words? This is 63 words. So for these 63 words, yeah, let me just come and do this so that it becomes easy for all of us. So these 63 words, I will let me see, how many words this? This is 49, okay. So what I will do, I'll just come here up to this point, and I'm going to remove that one, and I'll come here, and this is the new paragraph. So the direct quote, okay. So for this one here, I think this was the next paragraph, so it has to be indented, yeah. As usual, the way we indent, put indents. Now this one here, the one that I'm having here, this is the direct quote, okay. Let me show you. This is my block. So the one that I've painted, this is the block. So the way you do it, you don't put an indent on a block, but it has to be, the entire block has to be 0.5 inches. So you just come and highlight it, the entire block, and then you come to this place here. Increase indent, okay? But now you'll indent the entire thing. So you are going to push it like that. So when you push it, it becomes like a section because it's too big, it's whatever. So then you come after the full stop. Now it's when you can write. Let's say now this person who was written here is Jeff. Okay, so you come and write here Jeff. So the people who wrote, I don't know, it was Jeff and Abanas. So you have Jeff and Abanas, and they wrote this paper in 2021. And maybe they got it from a website, so I don't have page numbers in a website, so I'll just write here para 4. So this is a paragraph 4 from that website. Okay, so that when this one is plagiarized, we won't have an issue with it because you provide an in-text citation and you've shown that this indeed is a block that we've copied it word by word from the website. All right. So I believe I've given you that one, and I'm going again to show you. So those are the instances of long quotations. Okay, those are the instances of long quotations. Now let's see, when do we use et al, because that's a thing that you really have to know. All right. So uh, when it comes to the number of authors, I think you can always come. I don't know if it is here, but I really have to show you guys so that we understand these things together. Okay. So in-text citations. Let me see if it's here. Let me just check. I really can't be certain, but I want to see when if they've talked if they talked about the number of authors. But for me, I don't rarely use these ones, yeah, because I usually generate in-text citations in a year and that. So let me see. All right. So here there's none. Hmm, just don't worry. I mean, we have to be clear on this, so it takes time sometimes. Additional referencing information. Let me check here. It's not here. Direct quotations, indirect. This is report web page. Other internal sources. Mm, okay, so this one's okay. They've written it. Because I'm sure they wrote it, but now where where they put it is an issue. Yeah, because I don't really see it anywhere inside here. Anyway, it's not, that one won't be an issue for us, but I'll just go straight to that template that was provided by a client sometimes back, which is almost similar to this kind of standard for the University of Queensland. The one that I'm saying, yeah, is our standard. So I'll just come to my desktop to Harvard Resources, and then I Harvard Referencing Guide for you or a university of whatever. Let me just get that word. I think it is Al something. Yeah, it's been long since I ever accessed these resources, because for me nowadays most of these things are in my head. So Adelaide, something of that kind. I don't know what's the name here. So for this one, what it says. No, I'll first go straight to whatever brought us here. Like you want to see the number of authors and how we reference for different numbers of authors. Yeah. So I will just scroll down and see if let me check and see if there is anything. It's not journal articles, authors, intake citations, no full stop. So there's no full stop to the end. Okay, with no authors and editorial number. I don't know if I should tell you, but because I'm not seeing it here. Let me see. Why are these people? These resources are not available for me to demonstrate for you at a very critical time. Yeah. All right. So here they are. So if you have an author, it's going to be Muldoon 2012. Okay. Like the one that I'm showing you here. So wait, I demonstrate. So Muldoon 2012. This is one author. If you have two authors, it's going to be Darwin and Palmer 209. Okay. And if it's going to be three authors, it's going to be like that. So you mentioned the last names, Mala, Baron, and Mark, those ones. Then if it is four authors and above, that's when you use et al. Okay, and this time round after the et al, there's no comma. So that is the thing you have to do. So when you look at MLA, you use etal for even three authors. For APA, you only use etal for 4+ authors. Okay, 4 or more authors. That's when you use etal in MLA in APA. So I'll just open our website here and check. In fact, I'm going to open Scribd because that is my favorite one for referencing APA and MLA. So I'll just write here Scribd APA, 3 authors. So just want to be sure. 3 to 5 authors. See 6th edition. How to cite APA format 7th edition. Go to 7th edition. So APA intake citation. So 3 or more authors use etal. Okay. 3 or more authors use etal. Now, okay. So in this case, we're also going to use etal for 3 authors. So I believe then the only thing that you're having here differently is a Harvard, okay? Because for MLA, I can even look for MLA authors. Okay, MLA 3 authors. Scribd. Mm, author names. So 3+ authors, etal. Who authors? Okay. It's okay. So now, when you look at MLA also 3 authors, it uses etal. Okay. So just like Harvard, MLA does not have that comma. Okay, including even in intake citation here, doesn't have that comma. All right. So that's what I'm saying. These 2 styles, APA, MLA, they're a little bit the same with Harvard. Okay. So for Harvard, I think you just have to go that way. For 3 authors, you are going to name them and list them, all of them. Okay, all the 3. So that one for the generator for APA, that one won't assist you. So it's up to you to counter check and make sure that 3 authors, you've mentioned them, all of them. Okay. So that's the thing that I've noticed it even now. So there's no problem. Okay. I thought maybe APA is the same, but APA is not the same. It's because I'm using generators most of the time. So I really didn't get that. Okay. So APA and MLA. So we'll just proceed. So for this one, for Harvard, yeah, 3 authors, you're going to mention them. Then don't put the commas after the last one, okay? And for the parenthetical citations, like these ones, using an ampersand, they don't write and, okay? So this is the same with APA. So they use and, this ampersand, this symbol, yeah? Yeah, so that's the thing that we also have to note. Now, let's get going and start putting citations to our work, and I will show you how to go about it. Now, the way I usually go about this Harvard referencing, I usually go with it from a base of APA, okay? From the base of APA. So, for those of you who like using Google Scholar for citations, you can just go and copy here, write Google Scholar. So I'll go to Google Scholar and I'll write maybe climate change. So I want an article about climate change impacts, and I want a journal article. This one is in Nigeria. When was this? This one was in 2020. Okay. By the I'll only advise you that in most cases you use sources that are within the last 5 years. Okay. So for now it's 2010, 2022. So minus 5, 2017. So from 2017 going forward. So you can just come and customize here since 2018 so that we have sources that are within. Okay. So this one has a PDF available or something that kind. But I'll just go with this one, renewable and climate change and impacts and a review. So for this one, I'm using it just because it is whatever, just because it's for illustration purposes. Yeah. So and I'm looking for a journal article. So I'll just come here. What have I done? Let me just go back. So I'll just come here and cite it. And this is a journal article, of course. And I'm looking at it. This is the title, Renewable Energy Generation, a review of quantity renewable. So what I will do, because I want it in Harvard, yeah, you can see the Harvard that is here isn't the Harvard that we are using. So this is a wrong Harvard, okay? This one. So you don't even have to go with this one the way it is. What I usually do, I usually come here to climate change impacts. I copy the title of this one, a review of qualitative projections, and I paste that title, and I come to Scribe, and I go to I'll open here Scribe APA citation generator. Scribe APA generator. Scribe APA generator. Cite a web page. I think I'll go with this one. And for this one, I'll go back to the reference list. And this time, citing a journal article. And I can search by the title, of course. So that title that I pasted from Google Scholar, I can just paste it there and see if I'm going to get that article, maybe from anywhere from the database of Scribe. This one is because I've never opened it for quite a long time, so but I can cancel this. So in essence, while we are doing this, coming to Scribe and generating these things in APA, it's simply because we get that citation and convert it step by step, okay? But if you just go with the style guide, of course, the style guide for APA, for MLA, for Harvard, can really show you how to go about these things manually, okay? Yeah, it can show you how to go these things manually. So I don't know what's happening with the internet. The weather today is a little bit not favorable when it comes to the signals being passed from one cell to another. So I'm having an issue with, seems to be an issue with the connection or something. Or I will just come here and copy from our APA template. Go to APA. So there's this one, but no, let me just be patient. If I didn't find that one, let me look for a certain article that we can easily find here. Where is Google Scholar here? I think here it is. A review of potential climate change impacts. I'm looking for one that we can easily find. A review of potential climate change options. This one is for 2020. So let me see. The internet today is a bit slow. Hmm. Now, okay. So this one we've gotten some results. So as you can see, we've just used the title. So and with using the title, you can see everything has been brought here. And I think it is this article here, Jao Santos. And when I come here, it is Santos J.F. Fraga. These, I think, there are several authors, okay? 2020. So the thing is, after I've put that on there, I can come and just click it because it is this first one, yeah? So one thing you have to make sure is that you've checked this capitalization suggestion because most people overlook here. But you have to check. Mostly, you just look if review has to be in small letters, which makes sense. Climate change, potential change, climate change, impact, and adaptation. This is as per European verticulture. The only thing here that is can be capitalized is this European, something of that kind. Then page, it has been put there. And then the journal article, applied sciences, that's okay, J.I. Santos. So this is the list for the authors, yeah? So there are many. There are so many. So volume, issue, 2020 DOI, and Scribe has given you a free DOI here. So you always have to confirm if these fields are correct. Okay, so don't always assume that Scribe will give you the correct things without confirmation. Okay, so you always have to be sure that Scribe is giving you the correct information at any given time. Okay, 3092. Okay, let me check. So, and then if you've confirmed, then you just cite. So because I cleared my database, I have just the first source. So this is the citation. This is the reference. If I want the in-text citation, I just hover, I just hover my cursor here, and I come here in-text, and I take Santos et al. So I will click this, and I will come and paste it in my work. So I have a template updating sample. So I will say maybe supposed to be here. So the only thing I said I'm going to remove is this comma. So for the in-text citation, it's okay, right? If I want to specify a page number, then I can also do that. I can also specify the page number. Let me say if the page, I know the page is page, so I'll just write 3P, 3333, something of that kind. All right. But if I don't have to specify the page number, I'm going to leave that as it is. So that already that alone is okay. Okay. And then when I come to my references, I'm going to copy this reference entry here for this journal article. So I'll come and close this one here, and I'll click here to copy it, and I'm going to place it here. So as you can see, it has a DOI, it has everything, it has everything. So the only thing for me now to check is if these citations or the reference entry has been done in the right way. Okay. So it's my responsibility to compare it with what Harvard really expects me to have for the references. All right. So what I will do is that I will go back to my style guide and compare it because we said that this one usually works manually, so we have to be comparing them manually. Okay, and coming to an agreement to see which one is the best way forward. You really have to counter check it manually. And this work is not difficult. It's only that I'm doing it slowly here so that most of us understand. So for this one, it has very many authors. In fact, I really can't count them here, but I will go back to this website, University of Queensland. Unfortunately, this one didn't tell us the number of authors, okay? But I can just come and search here and see if it has anything concerning authors. It's telling me to update, launch and update. So I'll just update it. So I'm going to go and see if I'm going to be given authors and all that from the same from my browser. Okay. But when I come to this PDF, the one that I had opened here, this one here, with two authors, three authors, with four or more authors. So in the in-text citation, list only the first author, then et al., like the way AP has done for us. In the bibliography, list all authors in the order they appear on the article. Use an ampersand to separate the last two authors. So you list them, all the authors, okay? And then you separate the last one with an ampersand. Let's see if that is what Scribe has done for us. So it has listed them, all of them, and it has separated the last one with an ampersand. So this is okay. All right. So for this type of referencing citation, it does not use these full stops. You will not have a full stop until the very last element. That is, a full stop will be placed after the maybe DOI or the whatever. Okay, so that's a thing you have to note. So I don't know. Yeah, it's relaunching. So there's an update. So I'll just come here and find and see if there's something about authors. Only 5 results. Same author. They should have put it somewhere. No, the thing is, I've seen this thing somewhere, and I'm really wondering why I can't get it now. So yes, so let me just look. Oh yes, I realized I was making a mistake. The thing is, when you just come here, you come to about Harvard, UQ Harvard style, yeah, and you come to the section of print this guide. Okay, you come here, click print page for this one, style manual, Harvard referencing style. So you go to the print version. Okay, go to the print version of the UQ. So this one is what will give us the entire all the information. Okay, because the print version now you scroll everything downwards. Okay, so you can scroll and check if you're going to see anything here. Citing out to a list of bibliography. So I'm just going to scroll. So it's here, single author. So now when you look at the single author here, what you're going to do in text citation, you're going to Beckham, blah, 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 and the page claimed that. So this one is for the narrative type of citation. Okay. So narrative type here, if you have a page range double P, same thing the way I said, okay? All right, so separate the year and the page or the page range with a comma. That's the only time you do with that. But if it is not a narrative citation, that it is parenthetical, like the one it's written here, you can see it's Beckham 1994, comma, P25. So that's how it's supposed to be. Now for the two authors, if it is a parenthetical citation, you use an ampersand. If it is a narrative citation, of course, you use an and not an ampersand. All right. So, what about the references for such? For a single source, for a single guy, you just put the name Beckham, last name with the initials, okay? And these initials have no full stops, have no the whatever, the dots. I will show you, and then there's no punctuation mark between the last year and the year. Okay, the last whatever, these initials and the year. So I will demonstrate on that reference entry that we are yet to do. Okay, so don't worry about that. For two authors, I've said in-text citation will be this way if it's parenthetical, and if it is in narrative form, it will be this way. So the difference is you have an and here, and here we are using an ampersand. So you have to maintain that. When it comes to the reference list now, entry is it will be Sengel YA, and then you have an ampersand, and then Boyle Zemia, EA, and blah blah blah, something of that kind, yeah? Use an ampersand in the reference list. So some guys here, like the one that we got here in whatever, in Google Scholar, we can just see what it was telling us. They're using and, okay? So this is wrong. You can see Google Scholar is using and, so this is wrong. So, and it is under what? It is under Harvard. So that's what I'm telling you. You go with this method for Google Scholar, find yourself in problems. But follow my recommendations, you get it easy, okay? You get it very, very easy. All right. So I will also come up. I'll also, let's proceed with this guide. So for three authors, like this one, the way the other style guide was telling us, you you list them, the last names, Red, Pearson, and Green, 1989, something of that kind, yeah. All right. So for the parenthetical, for the narrative one, you use and, okay, as previously mentioned, something of that kind. For the reference list, same thing, DH, Pearson, MB, and Green, CW, 1989. So I'm going to show you everything. Don't worry. So this is a book form. So ampersand, something of that kind. Four or more. Four or more in text, use et al. So JAL et al. 208 et al. And there is no comma after the whatever in et al. Okay. You show only the first listed author followed by et al. Okay, that one most of you know. And for the reference list, list all the authors' names in the reference list. So you list them, all of them. Okay. When you come to AP and MLA, okay. When you come to AP and MLA, I think there's something that is different in MLA. Okay, but that one I don't know if I should show you in this video, or I can make some other video some other time. So I will show you in another list, in another video, because I don't want this video to be so long. But you can always check. You can always check in MLA and see whether the references, how references, formatting APA. I can just come here, formatting the APA reference page and check. But this one rarely use it because this one there's a generator. So there's a generator. There's a generator for this one. Do use the child APA. When should I use? There's a generator for. So okay, I'm so sorry. I just realized I was recording with Nook while I was not really quite capturing the voice. So I have to redo like most of that thing, which in fact I'd reached. See where I'd reached. This was very far, yeah? So I have to redo all this, but that is not an issue. So what I will do, I'll just grab these things, okay, for the time being, because something I want to make a demonstration, and it's quite important, and that was the most important step. Yeah. So I will just come back to where I was, where I had this citation in APA. So this one for Santos, and I'll just click it and I'll paste it. So like I was saying just before that video, I just lost its voice. I was saying that for APA there is generators, and same thing to MLA. Okay. Now, but I will want to show you one APA, MLA, and then I'll just write here also Harvard. So, okay, the thing is, for APA, for this MLA, this one uses et al. At the references, and also uses et al. In text. But when you come to Scrib, when it comes to the narrative citation, it tells you instead of using et al., you use and others, but we really do not recommend using and others or and colleagues. Okay? When you go to Online Writing Lab or Purdue, you realize that you have to write and et al. So in the in-text citation, but that is for MLA. Okay, for APA, this one is 3 plus, that one use et al. This one is 3 plus, this one is 4 plus. Okay, So one thing you have to notice for these ones, it is very easy for you to not to notice them simply because these ones you are going to be generated for by the generators, okay? And they're available online. But for Harvard, this is mostly a manual style. Like you really have to get these references in from in APA, then put them manually. So one critical difference, one that I'm going to show you here between APA and Harvard, which now this is what is important for you to know the difference between APA and Harvard, because we are using APA references and writing them in Harvard. So this one, for 20 plus authors, you just list the first 19 authors, followed by an ellipse, okay, and then you write the last author. For this one, for 20 plus authors, you list all of them. You list all authors, but rarely will you come across that situation. Okay, so when you generate a reference that has an ellipse in APA, when you're writing its corresponding Harvard in-text citation, just to be sure to add the names of the other authors instead of putting this ellipse. So that was a takeaway for you guys. So now this is a journal article. So we want to see how we are going to make this journal article, convert it to from APA and make it to Harvard. Yeah, in this style manual that we are trying to harmonize here. So, like I said, we'll come back to our website, which is this University of Queensland, and I'm going to go to a place where there is a journal article. And for this one, for this video, it's going to combine the informations for both from both this website and from that style guide for University of Alde. So you really have to use both because you really can't depend on one. Okay, because for this one it's inadequate. It has some shortcomings, but the other one, they complement one another. That's what I can say. Okay, that's the thing that I can say. They complement one another. So I'll come to this section where there's journal article and see how they cite journals. Yeah. So journal, I think, should be even the first one because it's one of the most common sources that are usually there, right? So journal article, print or online journal. So this one is here. Huffman, LM 1996. 1996. So I'll just copy this one. And you can see the end note or reference type is journal article. So I'll just copy that. And then I will come to my sample. Updating sample, yeah. And I'll paste it here. So I'm pasting it here not because it's supposed to be in this paper, but simply because it's going to give me an easy way to compare and make sure that I'm doing it the right way. Okay. Now, when you look at this one clearly, you realize the initials have no full stops. You realize another thing, that between the last initials and the year, there's no comma. So here, we don't have a comma here. I think I'll just have to use this pen so that we see. So when you look here, there's no punctuation mark, okay? And when you look when you look clearly, there's no full stop anywhere. The only place where there's that full stop for initials is when you're writing the word volume, and when you're writing number, and when you're writing the page or the page range. So be particularly keen about that. All right. So another thing that I can see here is that we have quotation marks. Now this is a journal entry, so and I'm comparing it against journal entry. So another thing I'll see is that these ones here, they're in sentence case, like there's no capital letter for F, no capital letter for this one, there's no capital letter W, so there's no title case here. Then food technology, this one is italicized. Then volume has been written as vol, number has been written by number, page has been written by PP. Okay. So now we are here wanting to convert this APA reference, this APA reference into MLA version, no, into Harvard version. So first, we are going to start by removing all these initials for the authors. So we remove that. Okay. So in this case, we're going to delete them manually. So we're going to delete them manually here. So that's what I'm saying. This one is a little bit manual. If you want to get Harvard right, you go manual. Okay. But if you want to become a pro and you think you can depend on something online, it will definitely mislead you. And I don't want you to get maybe revisions because of formatting styles or whatever, because it really doesn't make sense. But you will see that even for this one, it's not difficult. I'm going to show you some few things, and I'll give you a text if you want to try and practice. I'm just going to create for you a test for you to practice and see how many you're going to get. And if you want to do the test, you can do the test and you will tell me. And then one thing we said that after the year, after the last initial, there's no comma. Okay, so here, the last initial, there's no comma, and the year is not in parentheses. So we remove that parenthesis. Okay, and after the year, there's no full stop. Instead, we have a comma. So something of that kind. Now, one thing you have to notice is here. That is what we want to check now. Is there supposed to be a comma? The answer is no. You don't have to have a comma at that place. In fact, I will show you from this website. You can see if it's one, it's just like that. But let's see if there are two or more. What's happening with the touch sensation of this one? Now, okay, so you can see this one is Danu, Alice, K, and Chandra. So between that last initial K and Chandra, there's nothing there. There's no comma. So we have to really remove that comma in that section. So we're also going to remove this comma here. And when that is done, you're going to counter check. So make sure that here, between this second last and the last name is an ampersand, and instead don't have an and. Because when you look at this one as well, when you come to our site, here, we are having an ampersand. We don't have an and. But let's go back to Google Scholar and see what Google Scholar was giving us in Harvard. It was giving us S and. You see, instead it's telling us and, which that is wrong, of course. Okay? That is very much wrong. Okay? Right, so that is wrong. So if you go with Google Scholar, you are definitely going to run into a problem and you'll find yourself in a ditch. Okay, and I don't want you guys to find yourselves in a ditch. I want you guys to be doing something that when you do, it goes. Okay, and you avoid frustrations. Now, when it comes to the title of the journal, no, the title of the paper, you're supposed to have opening quotation marks and closing quotation marks. And what is the sentence case? The case is sentence case and not title case. So I'm going to put an opening quotation mark there, and I'm going to end here with a closing quotation mark. And after the closing quotation mark, you put a comma. So you're going to put a comma there. And Grammarly, you'll realize if you run this paper in Grammarly, let me just warn you guys. If you run this paper in Grammarly, Grammarly will try to correct for you this thing here. So be particularly keen that Grammarly does not make changes and interchange these things into the comma first and then this one like that. So that's a thing that I'm telling you. Grammarly likes correcting that part, so you'll ignore that suggestion. Another thing, Grammarly can tell you that this one, instead of this, you add an S here. So be particularly keen and look at Grammarly and make sure you know which section Grammarly is correcting you in. If it is in the references and you know you've done your references well in Harvard, then these suggestions for Grammarly, you can ignore them. Then after that, you are going to go to the title of the journal, okay? And you can see it is food technology, and food is capital F and technology is capital T. So that is title case. So now same thing, applied sciences will be in title case. So this time round we don't have sentence case, so it is title case and they're italicized. So that's one thing. And then for the volume usually comes first. So you'll have to write volume. It's written vol. And then after that, the issue number. So you write their number, full stop. And then you remove these parentheses. And then, of course, these ones are not in italics. So you remove those. There's no italics here in those ones. So you remove the italics. Instead of even put italics, I have to remove them because they're not in italics. And then after that, you come to the page. So page, because this is a single page, you put P like that, and then you save it, okay? And then after that, you have the D or I. But in this case, when you come to our, this one is a single page, that's why I'm using single P full stop, yeah? But for a page range like this one, you use double. So after this, you're supposed to put a DOI, but in this case, the DOI is not going to be written like the way I'm having it here. So how do we then write with the DOI? Now, for this one, with the DOI, this University of Queensland, this one will not tell us how you're supposed to write it with the DOI. It won't. And so this is when this style guide for University of Aldehyde comes in handy. Okay? So that's when you come here. Journal article print access to University of Aldehyde library database. Journal article with DOI. So you can see it's JOL, the names of the authors. Just check there's no full stops here. You can check here, there's no full stop. You can check after there, there's no full stop. After this here, there's a comma, then opening quotation marks, sentence case. Oh, good. This one even has that aspect of after the semicolon. So unlike APA, after the semicolon, you shouldn't start with a capital letter. You should start with a small letter. All right. So that's also different. That's also different when it comes to Harvard and that's another difference. So after the colon, you start with a small letter. The health examining. So this one is written in capital because it's an abbreviation. Okay, study. And then closing quotation mark first, then comma, then nutrition journal, italicized. Then you come to the volume, you come to the PPP, the pages, and then after that you come to DOI. So you can see how DOI is written. So I'll just copy that DOI up to there. DOI with a colon, yeah. So after the page number, I have to write DOI with a colon, and then I remove this, I delete that. What I need is this 10 point something. So I'll write the DOI, put a space there, and then I'll only write it after that 10 point something. So that is how it looks. That is exactly how it's supposed to be. All right. And because maybe you've copied it from a certain place, you have to make sure that all this is in Times New Roman size 12. So I'm going to make it in Times New Romans. All right, and then I'm going to put the size is size 12. And then it's, of course, it's supposed to be double spaced. So double spaced. So that is how it's supposed to be. So this is for the journal article with the DOI. Now, what if maybe you're having a journal article and want to use a URL, okay? So journal article from the web, freely available from an eJournals website. You'll write the name, and then instead of the DOI, now you want to put a URL, we just have to add this thing viewed. Let me show you. You write this word viewed, copy it until you just copy. You can write if you want to write, but for me, I usually just copy because it is. Then I'll only change. So I will assume that maybe you want to change this one instead of the DOI. So the link of the DOI, this one now, this 10 cannot be active because that's not an active link. So it doesn't have to be active. So now instead of the DOI, now I want to put a URL. So I'm going to wrap that. And I'm going to come to my PDF here. and I'll write that viewed. And then I'm going to put, before the URL, I'm going to put that these are angle brackets. Okay, so I'll just use that one, angle bracket, and I'll just come and I'll take a URL for that journal. Now now I'm copying it here just for reference purposes, but doesn't mean that now this one can have a HTTPS, and then I should have a closing angle bracket, yeah, which of course there should be no space between this, and then after that we have a full stop, and there should be no space between HTTPS and that angle bracket. So, and then you have to edit the date because like for today is 27th of April. 2022. Okay, and as you can see, it has different fonts, so you have to really come and make sure that this is in Times New Romans, size 12, and it is double spaced. So for journals, I'm particularly interested in journals because mostly these are the sources that most of you use, and even one of the most these sources are usually considered very reliable. Okay, they are considered extremely reliable. So when you look at this one, so this is a case of a journal article with a DOI number. This is a case of a journal article with a with a URL because it's a website. So why do we add this word viewed April 2020? So this one is usually added simply because this URL, by the time maybe somebody is opening it 10 years after today, this URL could not be available. Maybe it would be broken, or maybe the website was brought down. But this word viewed 27th April, it shows that during that time this URL was active. If it changes or it can't be accessible at that time, they'll just know maybe because it is old or something of that kind. So URLs change. URI numbers do not change. And there's this one thing known as stable URL that recently has taken shape. It looks more so like a DOI, but it's a stable URL, like it doesn't change. So good. So that is the case of referencing. And now if you've known how to reference the journal article with a DOI and with a URL, then there's no problem for you. Okay? Then there's no problem for you. Now I will put a test. You can always take a test. Okay? To see if you're good in this one. And if you want me to go through your work on how you've done these changes, you can always let me know. So because here we are using, we are supposed to make this template together. What I'm going to do, I am going to do this. This is APA. I want us to change this one from our whatever, from our works, okay? From this one, I think we should just convert these ones. So I'll just copy these sections, and then we'll copy these Harvard references in each and every, so that when we supply this template, it will have changes that are reflected. So Harvard updating template. So I think this template is the one that will receive. So I'll just use that. So so far we've done for journal articles. So this is how it looks like. 20 authors, if they are title of the period in italics, issue number, pages. Okay, the way I prefer this one is just, I think, giving you just an example will be easier instead of me giving you this author. But if you want that, I think I can just copy it from here, because that is how it's same from here. Mm, let me look for if these guys talked about. So yeah, it is here. Article in between single quotation marks in lowercase and with no full stop to the end. Title in italics with capitals. Volume, number, pages. Note that represents a space. So I can just copy this. And instead I'm going to come and paste it here now. To have a template updating. I think this is the one. So we update this one. So how this goes is author, and this one, of course, it has to be hanging 1.27 centimeters, and this one, of course, is supposed to be continuous here, and I'll just put it in Times New Roman size 12, Times New Roman size 12, and then of course it has to be double spaced. Okay. So it will be author, okay, AA, author B. I think these are those spaces, whatever. I'll just put a space. Author B, these spaces, I'll just put a space. This thing, author C, then the year. There's no neo here, then you have that opening quotation mark. Article title in between single in lower case and with no full stop to the end. Is occasion to italics with capitals. Volume number, a space. Number, this one is a space. And then you have the pages there, space. And then remove this, put there, space. And then of course you're going to put your DOI for hours. So I'll just copy what we made here. So I'll just put that DOI here, and then we'll put a full stop after the DOI. Then alternatively, if it is a website, I'm going to do this. I'm going to come and paste it here. Wait. If it is one that has a website, I'll paste it there. Just want to make sure there is no this. This. I want to remove those symbols that were placed here. Because these symbols are bringing issues. Article title in between in lowercase and in no full stop to the end. Titles in italics, capitals. Okay, volume. Even this one is here. So I have to remove them so that I don't confuse you guys. So these hash symbols here, these are just telling you to put numbers. They don't mean anything. So for this one, I'll also want to work with this. I'll work with this one that is refined. I'm sorry I started with journal articles because these are the most important ones anyway. For you guys, most of you guys use journal articles, and they are very nice sources to use. So for this one, I will say this is a journal article. Journal articles. The first one I'll say with DOI. I'll just write with DOI. With DOI available. And then the second one, I will just write here with URL available. But as usual, I'll always prefer one with DOI. Okay? I'll always prefer one with DOI because, as I told you, URLs, those ones, they keep on changing. But DOIs, they do not change. So that is the difference. So if this one for the URL, what I'll do, I'll just copy this viewed and that URL, this section, this last section, then that I have here after the page number. So I'll copy it here like that. And realize this one, the URL is active, but it is inside angle brackets, and we have a full stop. So with URL available, so what it means is that I'll grab this one, and I do that. Okay. All right, so and then those samples, we usually we are coloring them yellow. So yellow, so I'll color them yellow. So when it has a DI, so this is the general term with URL. Okay, and then now example. When it comes to example journal, so that was APA, so I'll wrap this. And I'll bring this one. And then I'll wrap that, and then I'll go to the examples. Now for the examples, what I will do basically is to paste the ones that I've written here, but I won't color them because in most cases you might need to use them. Okay, I won't color them, so because you might need to use them, so I'll just check, and then I'll come here and I put them because some of you might find it hard to use these colored samples. So that is for the journals. Okay, and I don't think if there's something that I've not covered for the journal articles, but I said I'll start with the journal articles because those are the ones that are mostly used. And then I'm going to wrap these ones here that are here. So when you see for this dot, yeah, the one that I'm showing you here, this dot that is here, let me just do this so that I can easily show you. This color is not usually one that is advised. Really can't see if there's this color, okay? So I can write no color. So for the difference is that in Harvard you can't have these dots. Right. So these three dots, this is what you will avoid in Harvard. You'll just list all the authors, okay? All the authors. You list them. So I'll grab these ones. So I believe we are good to go. If you have two authors, of course, the thing here is just rubbing and knowing how to change the different works. Okay, the different works. And I don't know if we had samples here, but if you think you want to practice for writing Harvard references, I have a test that I can give you to work on it. It's online. You can just try working, and then after That I can look at it and then I can give you your scores. But of course, if you are keen enough, you can easily get this. You can easily get these answers right. Yeah, you can easily get the answers right. And it's a matter of you following this. But they don't add anything that is not here. I don't know issue or I don't know what. Just follow exactly they have given it here, and you won't run into problems. So that is for the journal articles. Okay. So don't get confused. So now I think the next one I'll go is the books, because books are the most common, also uh, the ones that are usually used most of the time as well. So for a book, what you will do, you just come here. No, the good thing with this thing is it's a matter of checking and seeing if whatever you've written really looks like whatever is supposed to be written. Yeah, it doesn't mean you can see now they're here: single authors, two authors, three authors, four authors. The other time it wasn't here. So mostly, usually books and a book chapter. They usually these ones are usually I'll just cover both because you might run into problems. I've seen guys using a book and a book chapter that has a different author from that edited book. So I will go to book book books including author information. I'll go to a book with let's take even three authors. There's no problem. So for a book, it's written here, endnote, reference type is book. So it's rate DH something of that kind. So I'll just come and copy it. Thomas Springfield. But if I want to see the general format for a book, I think I'll get it somewhere here. Single author, elements of the citation. Author of the book, family name, initials, year of publication, title of book, italicized edition, number, place of publication. In-text citation, same thing, the way that we used to say. And then the references, now you can see the name is here. And then here, this one has no quotation mark, but it finds its how to uncover expert information on any subject. Harper Perennial, New York. All right. So this is it. Okay. So this is the thing that I want you to notice. That if we need a general form, I believe this one, this PDF is going to give us that general form. Okay. But then you can look if you want. Author's family name. This is basically the last name. Then the initials. Then the year of publication. Then title in italics, then the publisher and place of publication. This is the general. Now, for a book, I don't prefer that you use URLs even if the book is available online or in Google Reads or in whatever. Yeah, because some of these URLs they really look bad unless if the URL really looks pretty. But just these elements, having them all of them is sufficient. All right. Okay, so I will just take for the general format, I will just copy. I'll just copy it from here. Required information and layout. So I'll just copy it from here so that it doesn't become an issue. And I will not generate it. Of course, you can generate it from Scrib if you have a book that is well known. In fact, I might show you how to generate it from Scrib for a book, but this time round I'll just use a book that I know. I think maybe there's a book that I like, 48 Laws of Power, and I don't know if Scrib will have it in its database. So when I come to the book, the general format, they're telling us, we'll see. So author, family name, publication date. So for me, what I will do, it is author, family name, comma, initials. So I'll just I'm only editing this one, I think. Initials, then after the initial there's a comma, and then you have the publication date, but there's no whatever, there's no data. But instead of publication date, I think I should write year. Just the year. Just the year is okay. Yeah, and then after that, there's the title of the work. Yeah, title in italics, title of work, and then capitalize or repeated like a sentence in italics, like a sentence, and then you have place of publication. So after that, I think we have a comma here, and then place of publication. I think we should have a publisher information somewhere. Wait. Or publish and then place of publication. So from here, just come publisher, place of publication. So just like that. So this all of it has to be in Times New Romans, of course. Size 12. It has to be double spaced. So authors, family names, I'll just publisher, place. I'll remove that. So it's authors, a year, title of work, capitalize up to like a sentence, publisher, place of publication. Is it correct? So here I said Harvard after the semicolon. Okay, here I'll just show you after the semicolon here. This one now is going to be a small letter C, not a capital. And then a capitalize like a sentence, publisher, place of publication. Example. So I will just go with this example that is here for the sake of time, okay? For the sake of time. But I will not add a DOI or anything. I'll just copy this one. New York. This one for barman. Somebody is called a barman. Is actually a barman. Backman. Is barking a lot. All right. So I want to change this one to mostly I want to change it to. I'll remove this one. Let me say no color. So this one is in APA, but I want to convert it to Harvard. So it's Backman. So the first thing I'll do is to remove these full stops and spaces. Okay, and since it's one author after the year, I'll have to remove these ones. These are parentheses. And then after that, I have to put that comma, and then I have to italize that one. Alexander the Great, a life of a legend. Now here it's find it first, then after the colon. It's all small letters, everything is small letters. So Alexander the Great, a life in legend. So this one, everything here should be in small letters. So lowercase. And then after the title of that book, we are having the publisher. The publisher here was Yale University Press, and then the city. I think I'll just say. Let me say. I'm guessing. I'll say New York, something of that kind. And then I want to add the DOI. So something of that kind. Yeah? Something of that kind is what is acceptable book entry. So now I will try to generate one if I will have in APA, and I will call this a book. I'll come here to book and I'll write 48 laws of power, something of that kind. So 48 laws, if I'll get the book, I'm not sure, of power. Maybe I want to cite such a book, the one that I've used. Or maybe the client had given you whatever. Maybe the client had provided you a book. Yeah. So you have to cite it. You can go and put in these things manually. So concierge 48 laws of power. So when I click that, I can come and check and say the title is concise 48 laws of power. But this one is telling me that this one has to be in small letters, so I won't ignore laws of power because yes, of course, they're supposed to be in small letters. The author is Robert Greene. The edition it doesn't. It's not written edition. The volume publisher, that one DOI. Then it doesn't have a DOI, so I'll just cite this source, and then I'll come here. So I have this one, profile books. But I really don't think if profile books is even the thing that I want to see. So I think there's an issue with these elements that are written here. So I can come and look here and search, just general search, concise 48 laws of power. The concise 48 laws of power by Robert Greene. And then I can come and check if I can get the details. Okay, power, the 48, concise 48 laws of power, author is Robert Greene. Okay, the 48 laws of power, something of that kind. So I will go to what I call whatever Google Scholar and look for if I'm going to get that book and get its details. Okay, and I want to manually cite it now. All right, I don't want to 48 laws of power by Robert Greene. It's an old book. Novel operation laws, the laws of human nature. This is another book. Still the same author, Robert Greene, but I was looking for the 48 laws of power. No, because it's just for purposes of whatever. I think. Let me see if this is the book. This is the book. Green, the laws of human nature. Penguin. That's the publisher. That's the with no Tref works. Just open the laws. I'm having several notifications here, but it's nothing of concern anyway. Okay, so I will just try and see how you can, it's even drinking. I don't know what. Huh? I can't tell what this is, but I guess yes, to download, but no need. Anyway, let me just go straight and cite for you a book. Okay, I can even go and look for the 48 laws of power. Laws of power. I get the PDF book. I'm getting a lot of issues here. There's no problem. 48 Robert Greene on Amazon. I just want to see the details of this book. Maybe this one even in Amazon is going to give me the details. But the other time I was looking, it didn't give me details with the book. Authors, 48 pages. Publisher is Penguin Books. Publication date. So I think I'm getting new, but the publication place. That is what I wanted to look for. Let me see if I can find some 8 laws of power because I really want to use it for the sake of. Anyway, that is not a problem. Let me leave. Let me go for this book here, by Judith Heber and somebody, Lubiondo Wood. Okay, nursing research methods are critical appraisal for evidence-based practice. Okay, so I can method and for evidence practice, 9th edition. Maybe I can copy this and put it in script to see if I'm going to get. So this is MLA. Oh, this is APA. This is APA. Let me see if I'm going to get nursing research there. that book of nursing research, and if those fields are correct. The good thing for this one, you can fill them uh, manually if you like. You can fill them manually, which I think is here, Lobiondo Wood, 2021. But I think the one that I'm using here is for 2019. This is ninth edition. S silver. That is the whatever ninth edition. Okay, yeah, ninth edition. They're only saying it's ninth edition. But it's green. I can see even the cover. It's green and something. So let me see. Of course, they're not these ones. It's here for 2017, the one that I have. So nursing research. So when I click that, I can check nursing research, critical, appraisal, evidence based. These ones will be, in fact, this but so you can see like this one fan, it's bringing fan. So those details are wrong. Publisher name must be 2017. So I think we have different issues here that we have to change. Like the publisher is not Mosby. The publisher instead is the publisher is El Silva, something of that kind. El Silva, El Saver, ninth edition. Okay, Judith Haber J. So we'll have. So when it comes to the first authors is not fan. Yeah, the first author here. I'll just put the first author, which is H. No J, and then the last name is Haber, something of that kind. Haber. No, they have capital H. And then this one here, I think it's fan, but that fan, does fan have those initials as they are placed there? So, no. It's so wrong. So, Jerry Lobiondo Wood, G. So I'll have here G. Lobiondo Wood, something of that kind. So you can see sometimes Scrib is going to give you Lobiondo Wood, Judith Heber. So H, J. Even if you don't put a full stop, this one, it really corrects for you. So Heber, something of that kind. This capital H. I don't know what's wrong with my keyboard today. So Heber, edition, it's edition 9. Volume we don't know, but this one I think is A Silva, El Silva. For the sake of spellings, I don't know if it will copy paste. So El Silva. Elsevier, that's the publication company, not Mosby, like the one that has been written there. Okay. And then, of course, this one, the only thing it won't tell us is the place of publication. So I think when I check, everything about this one is just correct. So I will cite it. And when I come here, I will get that it is here. Lobiondo Wood, G and Heber J, nursing research method and critical appraisal for evidence-based practice, the edition, and El Silva. So now for this one, I'm going to paste it. Maybe I'm going to paste it here, down here. I'm going to paste it here. So when I paste it there now, what I'm going to do then is to compare it with this one here. So Lobiondo Wood G, so this one, of course, I'm going to remove that. The H, that J, the 2017, I'm going to remove that. And then what else after the year? I'm going to remove this here, and I'm supposed to remove that one. So after the year, I have a comma, and then the title of the book in whatever italics, and then of course for Harvard after the colon you have a small letter here, M, so that one. Methods, and this one basal practice. The ninth edition, I don't know whether it's supposed to be written that way. So let me see if you have an edition of a book, how you're supposed to write it. All right. So I can either come to this PDF or I go to whatever. I go to my to that whatever, what is it called, to the website. But I can already see here that it's written here. It's third EDN. So mine is ninth EDN, isn't it? Federation Press, Sydney, something of that kind. So this is the place where the book was published. And I can confirm that with my website here, University of Queensland, whether a book with an edition, how it's written. So book, let me see. So it's written the same way. So second EDN, isn't it? So we have that nth EDN. So I think I should write something of this kind before here. We should have something like nth EDN. I think that will make sense, because now here, for this one, we're going to put a comma here, and then we're going to have EDN but with an N. Do we have, is it shortened with whatever, with a full stop, that word edition? No, it is not. And is it shortened with a full stop in our whatever, in our this one? No, it is not. Then after that, now you can have the publisher and the place of publication. So so here there's not that full stop. All right, and then you have the publisher El Silva, and now the place of publication, which we are yet to know. And I think we can know if we look. I want to see where it was published. 9th edition, but this one seems to be, I will assume it's Texas or New York, but let me check first if where these guys published the book, if it's written, before I take the place to be written. Copyright is a Silva by a Silva, I think Missouri, St. Louis, that's the thing, Riverport, St. Louis, Missouri, something of that kind. So this is where it was published. So I can copy this, Missouri, something of that kind, and I'll paste it there. If you realize, I don't like copy pasting, isn't it? Yes, but because this is easy and it minimizes errors. So this one has a full reference list entry, and I will expect that this one is in Times New Roman, size 12. So with that, I can save this work like that. And this one has the different. So nth edition, I've even added this one for you. So you can easily wrap this now. We wrap this and we remain with our template that is complete. So you change that, everything has to be in Times New Romans, as said, size 12, and then it has to be, of course, double spaced. All right, so this is the thing. Okay, this is the thing on how this one has to be written. Okay, now another thing that I would really touch on when it comes to books is a book chapter, because you can find maybe you have a very large book. In fact, let me draw for you a book here. Now I've talked for long. So you can have a very large book, okay? And maybe this book has 1,000 pages, and inside that book, it has chapters, and each chapter has an author, different authors, in fact. So maybe chapter 1 was written by Jose, okay? Chapter 1 was written by Jose. So chapter 1, the author is Jose. Chapter 2, the author is Michael, okay? Michael. Chapter 3 maybe was written by Cynthia. Chapter 4 was written by Sharon, okay? And maybe chapter 5 was written by Murakatete. But the entire book, the one who did the compilation or whatever, is written under, let me say, somebody like Harry, isn't it? So maybe Harry is the one who compiled those entire things, and in fact was the reviewer who reviewed all those books that you've written. Okay, so in this case, when you're doing citations, you really have to do it in a specific way. Like you have to say that this is a book section, so that you are citing it in a way that it's a book section. Most of you have done this very well in APA and in MLA, yeah. And how it looks like the thing, it's here still, but this is APA, the one that I have here. This is APA, but I'm going to convert it to Harvard. It's supposed to be hanging. All right, it's supposed to be hanging like that. So here is my chapter title in an edited volume in ZZ editor and YY editor. Ads, name of the book, same as before with page range immediately after. Tokyo University Press. So maybe that chapter. Now we want to cite chapter 1, the one that was written in Jose, and maybe it begins from page 10 to page 12. That is the page that we'll put here. So what you'll write is that you'll say, now this is chapter by Jose, and the chapter maybe Jose was writing about advanced APA. Okay, so you'll write the title in that edited volume. So the title for Jose is Advanced APA Citations. So write the Advanced APA Citations. In the entire book is called The Master Academic Writer by Judd. So it will be The Master Academic Writer, okay, by Judd Harry, isn't it? So he's the editor. But now we are citing that specific place that Jose had written, okay? So maybe Jose will write about APA, and then we'll have Jeff writing about Harvard, and then we'll have maybe, let's say, Cynthia writing about Chicago, and then maybe Michael wrote about this style of a scholar or blue book or whichever style of formatting or references that exists. Okay, even this American Medical Association's MAA, yeah, because that is a guy who is doing maybe health sciences. So you really have to know, okay, and then you'll write that Ed. Now the name Harry will come in here because Harry is the big man, the one who is the name appears on the cover page of the book. Okay, but you see, like names like Jose, Michael, Cynthia, Jeff, these ones are appearing inside the title of the chapters. Okay, and then you give the name of the book. Now this is the Master Academic Writer. You're going to put it here, and then now you put the in the Master Academic Writer. This section of Jose is from page 10 to page 12. Okay, and then now this one, because these guys they're in Kenya, you'll say maybe like Gengeton University Press, isn't it? Something of that kind. Yeah. And then when was it published? It was published, let's say it was published in Githurai. Okay. So that is the thing. So I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying. Like this is just a book section or a chapter in an edited book. And good thing, all of these things that you're having here, the website and even the whatever, the website and that PDF that I'm going to share with you, they have them. So in fact, what I think for the quiz, you can just do it on your own. I will just create these uh, these references in APA, and then I will tell you to convert them to Harvard. Then I will also give you solutions. Solutions, I'll put solutions there for you, so you can always check and see. And you know the problem of marking for yourself is that you might not see a problem, but for me, if you do send it to me, I can see the problem. So you can get solutions there, and also you can have sending it to me so that I check and I see if that you have a differences are okay. Of course, you can share with eastacademia@gmail.com, and and those works will reach to me, and I'm going to correct them for you. So if you want to cite that book section, what do you do then? You can come here still to the book. Then you come to book chapter here, chapter and edited book, and you realize that it is like this one, Brainstorm D in WF Chen ed, the Civil Engineering Handbook, CRC Press, Rockathon, pages that. So for me, I'll just copy this and I will come and paste it in my section here in this paper. So book, remove publisher city. Now this one, now we want it. This one has to be there. This is an edited volume. So I'll put it somewhere here. So Brainstorm D, that one, here is the chapter in an edited volume in ZZ. So you can see now, whatever happens now, you can see like here, initials come after the author last name, okay? But here, the initials after in, the author's, the initials comes first, then the last name follows, then ed, okay? Name of the book, CRC Press, enter, then you put the page range, then of course the university presses and silver, something of that kind. So if I'm to change this to what we want, okay, so is to remove, the thing I'll do is to remove this. I'm going to write for you an example so it's not an issue. So I remove these full stops. Then after the A, I'm going to put a full stop. And then transportation planning, that is the title. Single quotation marks, of course. So the title, transport, here is my title in this book. And then after that, of course, I'm going to have that closing quotation mark and then the comma. And then in ZZ, so of course here we don't have these ones. Editor, maybe if there are two editors, so I'm going to write in YY editor. Then after that, I'm going to have ads because there are two, so I'll put ads. If it's one, I'm going to put, but now we don't have this one in capital, we have it in small letters, ads. So you can see that I'm extremely keen. Then you have there's a full stop there, there's a whatever, and then now the name of the book. So name of the book, same as before, but then now here, of course, you have a small s immediately after, and then you have the page range. The page range now here will come last. So here I'm going to put a comma, and then the name of the book, and then after that we are going to have so I'll just copy this, St. Silva, Missouri. So, or just use Tokyo University Press, there's no problem. Tokyo University Press, Tokyo University Press, and then maybe this one is in Tokyo. So I'll just write here Tokyo, and then the page range. I just grabbed the page range, but I don't know why. But this is just a sample, so it isn't an issue. So I'll just put that one PP. Let me say it's 23 to 48. And then I save it. So that's it. So if I'm to write the one that I was saying, the example. So let me say here, example book. So here, in fact, I'll just come here and do this and say here it's a book section, stroke chapter. And then I'll write example book section, I think. So I should just do that after here, so that if you follow through, these things won't really give you a problem. So I'll say it is, I said it is Jose. This guy is called Jose. Of course, W. Jose WW, isn't it? Jose WW. and he wrote the book in 2022, and Jose specialized in APA, isn't it? Jose specialized. I can just check my whiteboard. Jose was writing APA, yes. So advanced APA writing, formatting. So Jose wrote this one. So before that, I'll just write here advanced APA formatting. So that is Jose who wrote that section, and close that, and I'll put a comma. And now this one was this guy is called Harry, but his initials, let me say it's J. I don't know the other one, but I'll just guess. So D, JD Harry, in JD Harry, and because he's alone, don't know if they want to put double R, Harry, and then I'm going to write here Ed because he's alone. This Ed has a full stop. Ed, that one has a full stop. So for edition has no full stop, but for editor it has a full stop. So that's what I'm noticing here. And then the entire paper was called Advanced Academic Writing. Yeah, Advanced Academic Writing. JD Harry Ed, the advanced. Just write there. The advanced academic writer. The advanced academic writer, and in fact, this one is italicized. Okay, but I'll change that later. And I said this is a Gengeton Press. So it is a Gengeton Press, because it's in Kenya, Gengeton Press, and it was produced in Githurai, Nairobi. And the page, the one that Jose wrote, I said it was page 10 to page 12. So let me check. So the only thing I'm having, if everything is okay, Jose WW 2022 advanced APA formatting, okay, in JD Harry Eds, okay, the advanced academic writer, Gengeton Press, Githurai, Nairobi. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. So I believe that one is okay, very much okay. But the only thing that is remaining is that we have to italize this section here. So I'll put that in italics. And that's a book section. So this is also another field that I see so many people are using, like the book section and all that. Yeah. So that is a thing that I've really shown you. So this is a book book section, example book section, something of that kind, book chapter or section. Right. So sorry about that, these notifications and all that. So yes. So I'll format this one later. Like I'll go through this one and then I will share with you these final ones. Yeah. Example book chapter section. Example book. Oh, for that now we have the journal articles here and the example journal articles. Now I think whatever I will do, believe the one that is used mostly now is our website, and even this PDF, you really can come and see book chapter in an edited book. Yeah. So you can see like this one. One are giving feedback on assignment writing to international students. After the dash, we have the small t, integration of voice writing tools. and WWM Chan, KM Chan, and that, and T. Medium foreign language teaching. There's something of that kind. Yeah. So I think that is the way to go. So just follow these two. When you have this PDF and you have that University of Queensland site, and of course you can print it if you want, all of them. I don't think if you can get lost. Yeah. So if there's a URL for the books, of course you are going to use viewed. This section, viewed. You put the date. If the books have DOIs, you're going to put DOI as the last element. Okay, so that is it. But apparently we don't need much when it comes to books and all that. So now we can go to the websites. And for the website, I can just check here if what we wrote about the website. Hmm. All right. So now I will go to the website. Uh, and you can come. But even before website, most of you use dissertations pretty much. So same thing to a dissertation. Like for me, in a video, I can't cover all these things, but I can show you. I can really guide you how you can go, how you can go through this kind of papers. Okay, this kind of sources, different kind of sources, how you format them. But if you understand how, if you can compare your reference entry with whatever, with your reference entry with either of this PDF or this site, and you do it correctly, I don't think if you'll have an issue. If you come across a YouTube video, you just come and see where the YouTube video falls, okay? And you click that section for the YouTube video, okay? You can click film video here. There's a patent, there's a standard, there's a YouTube video, which is here, how you cite a YouTube video. Yeah, so you just come and see. Discussion forums, a web page, yeah, a lot of things are here. Audiovisual, whatever, YouTube. Most of you people use dissertations. Now, dissertations and thesis, they usually use the same type, yeah? The same type. So for a dissertation, I think I can just say, like, I really know I'm not going to cover it. I'm not going to do it. But I want to show you how it looks like. Because all those sources that you use, they're going to be available. Like, they're available on this site and that PDF. So I don't expect you maybe to have an issue. Newspapers, even when you use a newspaper or a magazine, it's here. Thesis, it's here. Yeah, so you can see the way it's written. Yeah, LB, that HR, aspects of gold and reference, PhD thesis, University of Queensland, Brisbane. So this is how it's supposed to look. So don't put it otherwise. If it has a URL and maybe you got it online and it has a PDF version, put a comma here after Brisbane, viewed, put the date, angle brackets, put the URL inside, make the URL active. Simple. Yeah, simple. So I don't think if you guys will really have to struggle if I'm giving you all this information and how to go about Harvard. Okay. Yeah. Even right now, I don't think if I should do for the website, because I mean these are things that are pretty much straightforward. But because of protocol and how I was already given, I was given something to cover, like a guide to cover when I'm making this video. So I cannot really just say I will stop, otherwise we'll run into problems. I have to cover the syllabus for this video. Rather, the things that I was expected to do was to cover the website. So I will cover that website and quit there. But you can see magazines, newspaper articles, dataset, yeah, web page. Web page is even here, web page. Hmm? So yeah, so you get the way it is, huh? Yeah, you should get the way it is. In fact, I think for the web page, I'll just, I don't know, you guys, you know these things, right? Even Facebook post, it's here for you. Why shouldn't you know how to cite these sources? Yeah, maybe ni wewe mwenyewe unajitakia, but the test that I'm going to set for you, I will put for you either to correct the citations or to do them well, and then I'm also going to provide for you solutions. If you want that test, you can tell me, and you'll do the test, and when you see you're okay, then Harvard has become very easy. It doesn't take much time, by the way, changing them from APA to Harvard. Or just to be sure, anytime you change, you confirm with this template that those solutions are as required. Yeah. So web page, it is best wherever possible to reference a specific page or section of a website that you are using rather than the whole website. If a website document doesn't have an author individual copy, start with the title document followed by the date. If the date is not defined, use ND. Author family name or according to body year, title of web page in italics, title of website, viewed date, URL, just like that. Author of body, and this is the World Health Organization. That's a body, not a human body referring. Yeah, so Harvard template updating. So I'll just come, this is what we are using. So I've already covered in-text citation, so I don't think if I'll just come here, website. Websites no more retrieved from list from the name. I don't think we'll need this. The formula author AA, okay, or if it is an organization, of course, or a body, we just write the name of the organization. So maybe World Health Organization, something of that kind. Author BB, and then we'll have author BB. Then we'll have the year. I'll put the year here. I'll put here the year. Then I think after the year I'll put a comma. A title of the article in italics, name of website. I will okay. What I will do, as usual, I will just come and copy. I'll just come and copy from the website. Yeah, web page with a website. Albanese, a Minister for Infrastructure, Transport and Government 29. Fair competition. That's not a good example. More sugar, more problems. Not a good example. I'm not getting good examples, but this one is a little bit better. Although the A isn't defined, so I don't think it was a good example, but I'll just put it here. And then we'll just use it. Although even the A is not defined, but I don't think it's a problem. So author AA, BB, ER, title of web page in italics. Title of web page in italics. This one here, the effects of this one. And then viewed, after that, just viewed in the URL. There's no name for website here, just that. Viewed and the URL. So for that case, for the viewed section, I'll just copy it. The ones that we've done here. So for the websites are pretty much easy to cite in Harvard because hazina vitu mingi. But as usual, I'll warn you, just to be sure you're using credible websites because you might run into a problem. You go take a blog and then you're told, no, this one is not acceptable. So web page in italics viewed. So generally what I'll do is to change these hours, the ones that we had here in APA. So I'll just change this. So I'll change this into Harvard. So H Sharman R. So we just need the year, don't need the December or something of that kind. Just the year is enough. Okay, I wrote this article, then the New York Times. We don't need that now. We just need the title, yeah? And then after that, we need the viewed. Viewed, and then this one, of course, this won't be here. After that, we need the angle brackets and insert this link here inside the angle brackets, and then the full stop. Something of that kind. So organization name, if there's no author publication here, then URL. I think that should just come. I think I'll just organization name, publication. I won't take that. Let me go back to my. So it's like this one: Queensland Health, Sun Safety, Physical Activity, Queensland Government, Brisbane, viewed. This one web page. Okay, that one is pretty much easy. But I can copy one that is from here, like this one, World Health Organizations 2014, World Health Recommendations for Routine, this one, World Health Organization, title of website. So I believe we just go with this one, the one that will have title of website, yeah? So I think we'll return, we'll bring back this aspect of title of website here. Because I was also thinking it's a little bit funny if we don't have that title of website. So title of website, let's put the title of website there, and then no. Title of website, this one I think is the New York Times. Huh? What was here was the New York Times. It's supposed to be in sentence case, I think. I'll just confirm. Yes, it's supposed to be in sentence case. So what I'll do here then, I'll put here like the title of website in sentence case. Yes. So then it will be maybe this one, the New York Times in sentence case, and then viewed that one April 2022. Yeah, so that when it is an organization, we can have something like this one here. Let me show you. Then I'll change the one that we did for APA. That is the same one that we'll put it in Harvard, like this one for American Cancer Society. It should look like this. So I'll just do this. Organizations, and then I'll just come and say no color. So okay, now it will be World Health Organization, American Cancer Society. Since the last one here, now that one, and then it's the only the year that we want. So I'll remove this. So for the year, there's a comma, World Health Recommendations, so it is Cancer Facts and Figures 2021. World Health Recommendations, these ones. And then I remember this case. This case is because this name was the same as this one here. But if I told it there's another website title, they're going to change it, okay? But if the author is American Cancer Society and the whatever, and American Cancer Society. For this one now, I think we'll just have to repeat it. So yeah, so like the way this one they repeated here, World Health Organization, and they repeated here again, World Health Organization, and this means that we'll have to repeat this American Cancer Society here. So even if the name of the website is the same, I just did it wrong. This my copy pasting sometimes fails. American Cancer Society. So when you look very well, we are having that instance of author BB, the title of the website viewed. So now what I'll need is this viewed April 27, 2022. So I'll just come now and do this. And I don't forget the angle brackets. And the full stop, of course. Cancer Facts and Figures 2021, American Cancer Society. Okay. World Health Organization. So title of website is also in sentence case. But now, this one, it's like American Cancer Society, World Health Organizations. These ones, you can't write them in. You can't, like it's an organization. So this one has to be capitalized. But this one is just an example. Doesn't mean that that place has to be sentence case. You have to note that. How Facebook is helping 2022 elections. This one I'll remove it. So I believe we are done, and I've covered the three that I was supposed to cover. All right, so I'll remove these ones. Remove the ones that I'm not supposed to have. So what I'll do for this template, I will just Control A, put the paper in Times New Romans, and I'll put it all of it in size 12. And then I'm going to put everything double spaced, and then I'm going to remove spaces. Don't add spaces between paragraphs of the same style. What is the other thing? That's all. Of course, the other thing is the color. Like I can highlight these things. The only problem is the color of the active links. Yeah, if you have an active link somewhere, this color shouldn't change. It should be the blue color. That is automatic. So I'll just highlight until sections where there's a link. If before the link now I change, I put automatic. You know, sometimes some of you submit papers with black links. So try to avoid that. Don't put a black link, please. Let these links be color blue like the way mine are here right now. But if you find yourself having black links, I don't know, you'll be writing for another organization, not WriteALL Academics, you know. So I believe there's one thing that is remaining. This part, this general form. So I think I can just take this one and I copy it so that I write this organization name here. Organization name if no author. So just write here organization. Organization name. Year. Name of web article. Name of in italics. Title of website. Yeah, so that's okay. That's okay. And then you have to make sure that all commas are the same. So just come here to replace and press that and then press that. replace all, 13 replacements. Okay. So now we can be sure that all these commas are consistent. If you want to make sure, as usual, like the way I told you, you can come and search. There are only 13 to search word by word to see that they are, and see they are actually consistent. Alright, so Control A, Times New Romans, size 12. You've removed the spacing. Okay. So this is nice. This is pretty much nice. This is very much okay. And this date here has to be supposed to be a dynamic date. Supposed to update manually. I don't know why it doesn't want to update manually. But what I'll do, I can remove it and add another dynamic date. So I'll just add another dynamic date here. So I'll come here to home and I'll come to insert. I'll come to insert and I'll insert text box. Insert date and time here. How is this one written? 27th April, 27th April. I think it's this one here. And I'll click update automatically. So make sure it's checked. And I'll put there okay. And I'll remove this one because it wasn't updating. Yeah, so now I'm done. This is the Harvard, and that's all about Harvard, by the way. So the only thing remaining now is to check the spaces. So I'll do that. Make sure here there's 6. Of course, there's 6. There's a page break there. Title of paper is there. Start typing here. Okay. Then I can write here just for you level 1 titles. Level 1 titles are centered, and in title case, level section, other sections, other headings, other section headings are flashed left. Title case and italicized, something of that kind. So I can just center there, right? So that is just to tell you what to do. When you get a level 1 heading, level 1 heading is like this title. You see it's centered and everything is just okay, yeah. So level 1, and then other section headings. Level 1, it's like this one. The other section headings now, you have them like here, flashed left, and then you say, maybe let's say now I want to talk about adjustments in the organization. As usual, do not just write like that. Adjustments in the organization. As usual, do not do it, and then you start typing. Pause here. As usual, do not do it. Do not put punctuation marks after these titles. I don't want to see guys putting full stops here. Makes no sense. Not unless maybe it's a question or a question mark. Now, that's when maybe you can put. So basically, this is the whatever. This is the advanced form of the Harvard title, one that is going to tell you what to do. And if you want the in-text citations, they are so simple. Just appear citations, remove the comma. Yeah. So there should be no bold in your paper titles. This still remains. Citations also cited in in-text should be listed here. For one source, use reference. For two or more sources, use references. Pay special attention to the capitalization and utilization. That still holds. Mm, these are forming these balloons here. So basically, this is it when it comes to Harvard. And I don't think if it's a difficult thing. I don't think if it's a difficult thing because, as you can see, we've done it together step by step. Yeah. So I don't think if you should be struggling with this. I really don't think why you should be struggling with it. Good thing I've gone to great extents to show you. Remove this extra line here. I've gone to a very great extent to demonstrate it to you. The video has become long, and for now, I think you're good to go with Harvard referencing and citations. If you really want me to check your test, or you want the test and maybe it's not posted yet, you can ask it from me. I can give it to you so that you would convert a paper from APA to Harvard and so forth. So it's all about that, and if you follow those recommendations, WriteALL Academics, this one you won't have a problem. And if at all you're going to be given a Harvard style that really deviates from this one, just follow the same technique of going manually, and you can easily get it right. Yeah, you can easily get it right. So the same skills, the same techniques, they have applied in AP and MLA and Harvard. The only difference is that the websites. So Online Writing Lab or Purdue, this one you'll use it for APA, MLA, and Chicago Manual of Styles. Okay, but so far we are not writing using this style because even the orders that go with Chicago, they are pretty much literal and mostly they're for history, and most people don't do history orders. Okay. And then for Harvard, we go with Queensland, okay? Queensland and the University of Queensland and University of Aldehyde. I don't know how to pronounce it. So those are the things. And these resources are available for you. And like this University of Queensland, if you want to go to the printable version, and maybe you feel like you don't want a URL, you want to print it, just make sure you scroll up here and you go to About Harvard Style, and you go to the printable version. I think this already I'm in the printable version. Like the way I said, based on the sixth edition of the style manual, authors, editors, notes. No, you don't need that. I think this is the printable version. Yeah, this is the printable version. When you come to the printable version and you want to print it, you just come here. These three dots up here. And you come here and choose print. I don't know which website will be using, which browser. I'm using a VG. Then you save as PDF, and then you can just check how it looks like. Let me see how it looks like. It's loading the preview. So this is how it will look like. Yeah. And the layout here, it is giving me a landscape, but maybe I want to print it in portrait. So I'll just come and put portrait. And it will be 32 pages, yeah? And I can print it. So save. Then it's going to tell me to save it. I'll save it in the desktop. So it's already saved, my desktop. So I think it's this one here, about UQ. So this is how it looks like when I print it. Pretty much the same as the other one. So let me just put it with the magnification of 100. I think I'm missing some details. That's why they were preferring me I download it in that italic edition. Yeah, it's best if you download it in that other one in landscape. So this is it. So that is Harvard. You've been waiting for this video for so long, and I think now you've learned so many things here. So if you want to buy me a soda, you can call me. You can email me to reach me. You can email me the questions at eastacademia@gmail.com. So I'll just write that email address here so that some of you usually look for me, and I realize these videos are watched internationally. So it doesn't matter where you are, you can always send us order. Yeah, because we have things like Waldremit in place, so you can send the soda through Waldremit. It will reach here in Kenya, eastacademia@gmail.com. So you can email me there with your concerns, and I'm sure I'm going to answer them promptly. Okay. If you want the test for Harvard, you can ask me, and I'll always check your work and I give you recommendations. So thank you and have a nice time. And that's the end of Harvard Referencing Style. So I wish you all the best in your works, and we'll of course interact one way or another if you have questions. So don't forget to subscribe to East Academia, and share these videos and like them. And that is the only best way that to support us and our industry. So thank you and have a nice time. Bye.